Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, iPhone 12 Pro Max, Asus ROG Phone 3. Three of the top phones of 2020. And what do they have in common? They all have displays that are over 6.5 inches. Now, if you think this is a phenomenon that's only restricted to flagship devices, let me give you a few budget examples. The Poco X3, the Moto G5G, even the OnePlus Nord. Guys, it's undeniable at this point. Phones are getting bigger in size, and they're pushing tablets into an identity crisis. So, what can the tablets do? Well, that's what we aim to find out in today's video. Can the best tablets of 2020 use those 3 extra inches to their benefit, or are we witnessing the end of a form factor? Let's find out in today's video. Hey guys, Amrita here from C4eTech, and if you do end up enjoying this video, then please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell icon so that you get to be a part of our notification squad. Modern phones are at the verge of the 7-inch mark, something that was reserved for tablets even a few years back. Guys, anyone remember the Nexus 7? That used to be a tablet with a 7-inch display, and slowly but surely, our phones, they're reaching the same display size. So the only thing left for tablets to do is to make more use of their screen real estate, have bigger displays, and have some unique functionality to them. So this list is gonna have a lot of Samsung and Apple tablets. Not because we are biased towards them, but honestly, the Android side of things, tablets are kind of dying. Earlier, there used to be a lot of unique tablets. Xiaomi had their Mi Pads, Nvidia had their Shield tablet, but in recent years, there seems to be a dearth of tablets, and the only one who are making something interesting, that seems to be Samsung. Speaking of something innovative, let's take a look at Samsung's Tab S7 and S7 Plus. So first off, they take the big display box. The Tab S7 has an 11-inch IPS screen, while the S7 Plus is even bigger, 12.4 inches. The latter also has AMOLED, giving it those inky blacks and vibrant colors. Both of them run at 120 Hz, so we have super smooth scrolling for day-to-day use, and we can also use them for some immersive gaming sessions. Now, the main reason we can do that is because Samsung has equipped both these tablets with the latest Snapdragon 865 Plus processor. So the performance here is amazing. It's honestly surprising that they went with the Snapdragon 865 Plus here. Coming from Samsung, I honestly expected them to use an Exynos chip here in India. Not 20. But anyway, what we do seem to get here is a Snapdragon chip, which means no complaints when it comes to the performance. We also have the S Pen included in the box, which adds a whole different layer of functionality to the tablet. Not just that, there's an additional keyboard accessory as well, and with that, the S7 series of tablets can do almost everything that we'd expect from a basic Windows laptop. These tablets are also built to last, with 8,000 and 10,000 mAh batteries in the S7 and S7 Plus respectively. So not only are they lighter than comparable Windows machines, they can also outlast them in terms of battery life. And then there's 45-watt fast charging available through the Type-C port. Of course, top-end specs do come at a price, and the Tab S7 costs a pretty penny, around 56,000 rupees. As for the S7 Plus, well then we are paying around 72,000 rupees for the bigger AMOLED panel and the bigger size battery. Now, if raw hardware is what you're after, then the Tab S7 Plus is arguably the best display in the market with a super slim and light design, a dedicated microSD card slot, even a 13 plus 5 megapixel camera combo to the back. On the other hand, if you want to be more productive, the Apple iPad Pro is for you. The slew of iPad apps makes just more sense for artists and creators. And depending on your workflow, you can legit edit photos and short clips all from an iPad. Samsung has worked a lot on reducing the latency of the S Pen in the S7 series of tablets, but most professional digital artists still prefer the Apple Pencil 2. And last but not least, OLED is amazing, no doubt, but the ProMotion Liquid Retina panel on the iPad Pro is also really good. The biggest difference maker though is the core software experience. No, I'm not talking about the apps. Yes, there are a lot more tablet-friendly apps on iOS, but that's not the point here. With the first-gen iPad Pro, Apple brought along with it iPadOS, a fusion between desktop macOS and iOS on smartphones. And it is this blend of the useful with the familiar that I think gives Apple the edge when it comes to tablets. Paired with a Magic Keyboard, the iPad Pro 2020 can actually replace a laptop for most most casual users. And overall, iPadOS feels way more mature and robust than DeX or Android 10 does on the Tab S7 lineup. The Microsoft Surface Pro 7 does deserve a mention as well. As expected from a Windows tablet, more like a laptop hybrid, it handles productivity tasks really well. It's a little on the bigger side at 12.3 inches, and of course, it's kind of pricey as well. But hey, if you really want a Windows 10 tablet, then the cheaper Microsoft Surface Go 2 might be an option as well. But then the biggest problem with Windows 10 tablets is not the hardware, but the fact that Windows 10 hasn't been designed with touch in mind, which means the user interactions, they aren't as fluid as Android or iPadOS. In my mind, they are more laptops than tablets, which is why I haven't included them in the list. In fact, iPadOS is the primary reason that I'd suggest anyone to ever get an Apple tablet. So, if the iPad Pro is a little too expensive for your tastes, then you can get a pretty similar overall experience on the new iPad Air. Of course, there's some compromises here, the biggest being the high refresh rate panel. The iPad Air comes with a standard 60Hz panel. We also do see a little bit of a cutoff when it comes to the optics. So instead of the 10 megapixel ultra wide and a LiDAR sensor, what we only get on the iPad Air is a primary 12 megapixel camera. Anyways, who really cares about cameras on an iPad? But the processor, well, that's an entirely different story. So naming scheme wise, the A14 would seem to be the more powerful, but the A12Z inside the Apple iPad Pro is the most powerful mobile processor that we have ever seen. Okay, not more powerful than the Apple M1, but that's an entirely different discussion for another day.
You touch it now, but don't you know?
How cool is that?
Bruh.
For now, let's get back to the tablets and check out the two more affordable ones from Apple, the iPad Air 2020 as well as the new iPad. Now we do have a detailed video on both of them, cut to that right here. So instead of, going into the nitty-gritty details, what I'll do here is highlight some of the features that I think makes the tablet experience on them a bit unique. So both of these do come with the bigger IPS panels, 10.9 inch on the iPad Air versus 10.2 on the regular iPad. Next up, we have some beefy internals inside, which means that not only can these two be used as media consumption devices, we can use them to play games, conduct video calls, heck, in a pinch, they can even serve as work or learn from home devices. And as an added benefit, both the new iPads also have support for Apple Pencil. In this current global situation where a lot of us are stuck at home, we have seen a resurgence of the tablet as a family use device, and the new iPads are great for that. The new iPad 10.2 inch starts from 30,000 rupees, while the iPad Air is obviously more expensive, starts from 55,000 rupees. And one of those features that helps cement the tablet as a family-friendly device is the speaker setup. Even at their best, most smartphones, even those with forward-firing stereo speakers, would struggle to fill up a room. However, when it comes to the iPad Pros and the Tab S7s, we get quad speaker arrays that can bring any movie to life. Even the iPad Air and the iPad 10.2 inch 2020 come with stereo setups, and honestly, they ain't too shabby either. Now, if you're looking specifically for a cheap media tablet, well, Android does have another card up its sleeve. This is the Samsung Tab A7. We get a 10.4 inch IPS panel and the resolution is Full HD, which means as a media consumption device, this one should do great. Heck, we even have quad speakers in here, so Samsung is definitely targeting this one for casual surfing, web browsing, and content consumption. Now, it does nothing much on the hardware side of things to stand out. The Snapdragon 662 with 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of storage isn't really gonna set any benchmarks alight, but they do help keeping One UI 2.1 running smoothly. Now, the major drawbacks of the Tab A7 from the S series is that we do not get support for S Pen or an attached keyboard. So the productivity aspect is a bit limited here. That being said, we do get a massive 7040 mAh battery in here, which should get us through most TV binge sessions. Of course, this is a budget tab at around 17,000 rupees, so we don't get as many special use cases or unique features in here. With a bigger battery, quad speakers, and higher screen real estate means that there's still a niche audience for this device. So end of the day, the 7-inch tablet, that seems to have come to the end of its life. And even the bigger form factor, well, it's under constant threat from folding phones and folding laptops. And hey guys, who knows, maybe the tab of the future would be a folded out smartphone or a folding laptop that's been folded in half. But as of now, right here in 2020, the best tablets of this year, they're doing a damn good job at bridging the gap between the two form factors. And with that, we come to the end of this video. Do tell us in the comments below what you thought about it, and also do let us know what your favorite tablet of the year has been. As always, like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon if you haven't yet. Thanks a lot for watching till the end, guys. Have a good one. Cheers.